This video is sponsored by Skillshare. So as the year comes to an end, I think it's a really good time to take stock of your camera collection, look at what you loved using and got great results from, and then also what you didn't use and kind of sat on the shelf collecting dust. In this video, I'm going to share with you the cameras that I am really excited to use in 2023, and I hope that you guys comment below and let me know what cameras you're going to be using in the new year. All right, so let's get into the first camera. So some of you who've been watching may know that I owned a Mamiya 645 and I did not get along very well with it. I tried to shoot it a couple of times, I just never vibed with it and didn't get great results, so I decided to swap it for two other cameras that I am very excited to share with you all. So these two cameras might seem like kind of rogue choices for me, but the swap for these and the Mamiya 645 was just too good to pass up. And I do like trying new things and experimenting on the channel and sharing it with you guys. And these two cameras are like pretty cool, so I'm really excited to share them with you. Dun, 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 dun. Texas Leica. All right, so this is the Fuji GW690, otherwise known as the Texas Leica, because everything is bigger in Texas, or at least that's what I heard. So this camera is huge. It is like bigger than my head. It's quite comical. I've been excited to share this with you guys. I did give a little sneak preview on my channel memberships in a live stream. I don't know a whole lot about this camera. It kind of seems like Lucy's worst nightmare. It's a rangefinder, which I'm not a fan of normally, and it's pretty much fully manual as well, which isn't normally my vibe, but I am really excited to use it. I've never shot 6x9 before, so I'm really keen to see like the negative, because people always say like, you know, you get so much more out of like that negative. So that'll be really interesting. I'm a little bit nervous as well. I get very intimidated when I shoot anything other than 35mm, but it is a very, very cool looking camera. And yeah, we've been binge watching videos on it to get some more information. I don't really know what else to say about it. It's just really big. So we were doing a little bit of research, and you can get like a kit to convert it into 35mm, which makes it kind of like an X-Pan. So you can do like pano shots with it, which also admittedly isn't my thing, but I just think it's cool when there's like a lot of options available. And I do like to try things and not just kind of say, oh, like that's not for me because I tried it once, because you never know. So you've probably seen me use the Nikon F60, F65 and F80 on the channel before. I love those kind of like dorky 90s SLRs. I think they're really capable and super underrated. But the other camera that we got in the swap was the Nikon F100, which is an extremely capable camera. It's more advanced than those other ones. It's more like a prosumer kind of camera. I don't normally use the autofocus on the like F60 and the F80 just because it's a bit slow. But with this, I might try it. It is a real chunk, like very heavy. So I probably wouldn't like walk around and do, you know, like my kind of photo walk stuff with this camera, but I would definitely use it for photographing like products. Like I have some merch at the moment and I want to get some like close-up shots of that. I've also been experimenting with a little bit of like food photography at home because I really like cooking. So for that kind of stuff, I think this will be really good. Admittedly, I wasn't that excited about it when I saw it, but looking through the viewfinder, oh my God, it just looks like so nice. Like bringing things like in and out of focus is just like so satisfying and just looks so beautiful. So I'm really excited to shoot this camera. So you know that I love my point and shoots, and I recently got this awesome Minolta AFC. I did a photo walk video with this camera recently, and my God, so impressed with the results. Really sharp, like didn't miss focus, exposure was on point. Just so, so, so good. So I'm definitely going to be using this a lot more in 2023. It has like a detachable flash, and it kind of has like XA L35 vibes in like one camera. And I love the L35, but I haven't been using it as much as I used to because battery door is so bad. I have to tape it up and it just kind of is a bit of a hassle when I'm out and about. So I'll definitely be using this camera more because it's more reliable and the results, to be honest, look just as good. So definitely keep an eye out for a Minolta AFC. I think it's a real sleeper. So far I've shared only film cameras with you, but I have an intention in 2023 to shoot a lot more digital, don't worry, I will still be shooting film, but I really think with the price of film and then like the cost of like developing and scanning and everything else in the world going up, it isn't really viable to be like just shooting film. And I want this channel to be accessible for everybody, and I don't want to be like just parading around all these expensive film cameras when I know that that isn't a reality for a lot of people. That's why I started this channel. So I'm going to be shooting a lot more digital in general, digicams. If you still haven't seen the channel 1 Month 2 Cameras run by Ali, definitely go check it out. She has this whole like hashtag no bad cameras thing, and there will be a camera on her channel that is affordable and available to you and will allow you to explore photography in a really like cheap and budget way. So Ali actually sent me this Canon G2 for my 30th birthday, which was really nice of her. And I could not recommend this like highly enough. It's kind of like shooting film. I've got a whole video on it. I'll link it below if you want to go and check it out. They can be found like pretty cheap. Somebody actually messaged me and said they found one in like a pawn shop for $20, which I was like, score. So keep an eye out for a G2, especially if you're a film shooter and you want like a film experience in a digital camera. Results are amazing. So I'll definitely be using the G2 a lot more in 2023. So I'm definitely keen to pick up more digicams, especially of this like early 2000s kind of generation. I've heard that like the Olympus ones of that generation are really good. So I'm going to keep an eye out for those for sure. So since using this Fuji X20, it's made me really curious to use more of the earlier generation Fuji cameras like the X100. I have a friend, shout out to you, Matt, who has a huge camera collection, and I'm going to hit him up and see if I can borrow his X100, as I have been lusting after an X100V, but as you all know, they are super expensive and really hard to get. So using the X100 will be a cool experience. I think the early X Pro series look really cool too. And I know that there's a lot of hype around the early Fuji cameras at the moment. And I think that's for good reason, but they are going up in price. So I think if you can borrow cameras off of people or do like a swap with a friend, that's a great way to like try something out and see if you really do want to actually, you know, pull the trigger and buy that camera. So I'll definitely be hitting you up, Matt. I am really loving Faisal's channel. If you haven't seen it, I'm sure you have because it's massive, but I love his photography. His composition is just so on point, and he really makes me want to try street photography. Like, he truly inspires me. And I think trying street photography with digital, if you haven't done it before you jump to film, is a really good idea. So I might take this X20 out into like the city and see what I can do with street photography. If my street photography experience goes well, then I will try it out with this Canonet QL17. You may have seen Hashim of Pushing Film shoot this camera. He made an awesome zine with it, and my partner has kind of like kitted it out with this like cool little shutter thing, and it's a really awesome camera. Like, I really like it. It's really interesting, but it's just the shutter sound, which I know for street photography, that's what you want. Like, you don't want people knowing that you've taken the photo. But for me, I love like a big clunky, like retro, know that I really took the photo kind of shutter sound. And honestly, when I press this, I'm like, did I take the photo? Like, it feels very kind of anticlimactic. But when I'm out like in the field, when I become a street photographer, maybe I'll be loving that. So I'll see how I go with digital and then maybe try out the Canonet. The photos look really good too, like really impressed with the results from this. So that does make me want to try it. So was that a little bit like crazy? So I've never really tried street photography before, and I know that there are a lot of techniques that you can apply to get certain looks, and people really look to the masters like Joel Meyerowitz. In this course by Craig Whitehead, 5 composition techniques for street photography, he runs through the basics, the things that you probably would already know, like leading lines and all that kind of stuff. But he goes through other things like juxtaposition and sub-framing that I'd never heard of before and found really interesting. These can help you to understand better how to approach your subjects on the street and train your eye to really get those awesome street photography shots. He also goes through the pros of not just opting for a wide angle lens, but trying out other lenses as well to kind of like change up your compositions, which I really love. Like all Skillshare courses, there is a student project section as well. And this one in Craig's course is full of awesome examples that students that have taken this course have tried. There's some beautiful work on there, and I think it's really inspiring to see what people are getting out of this course. Moving into 2023 is a really great time to invest yourself, and Skillshare is an awesome online learning platform that can give you the skills to start a new career or a business, or just explore your creativity and look for a new hobby or skill that you can then take into the new year with you. We consume so much content online, so why not use something like Skillshare, where you can really discover and explore these new hobbies that might be something that you can take into the other parts of your life. If you are a street photographer or you've been wanting to try street photography, there are an abundance of courses on there related to that topic, and I would definitely recommend Craig's course. The first 1,000 people to use the link in the description will get a 1-month free trial of Skillshare Premium. So go ahead, use that link down below and start exploring your creativity. So I've talked about this camera a lot, but I haven't actually shared it on the channel. So this is the first time, which is really exciting. This is my beautiful Pen FT. It's all black. I got it for my 30th birthday, and I think it's a great way to mark that kind of milestone. I've shot one roll through the Pen FT so far, so I'm really excited to send that off to my lab Ikigai and get it developed. I'm really interested in kind of creating stories through diptychs, which is like the 2 pictures on the negative. That's like what half frame is. I'm going to do a whole video on half frame cameras, because when I got this camera, I had a lot of questions about like all different things and kind of like getting into half frame. I think it's a great economical way to be shooting film with the price that it's at right now. These are pretty expensive though, but definitely worth it. Getting 72 shots is like so cool, like to just keep shooting and knowing that you've got that many frames. So yeah, I'm really excited to kind of explore the creative opportunities with half frame. I think it opens up like a whole kind of new world of like, yeah, storytelling, I guess, through photography, which is something I don't normally think about when I'm just shooting like my other cameras. A couple of people have asked me about this strap as well. It's from Double Film, and they have like a few different cute colors, and I really love like the fun vibe of something like this as opposed to just having something black. And then I've just got these little like Peak Design lugs, which are really great, and like often change them onto other cameras with this strap. So next up is the Nikon FM2. This isn't necessarily a camera that I'm going to be using in 2023, but I do have something on my wish list, and that is the Nikon FA. So this camera is fully manual, which, like I've said, isn't really my jam normally. I really like having aperture priority, and the Nikon FA has that, but it still has matrix metering, which I really like from using my older 90s SLRs. Like the, metering system is just like so advanced on those. So yeah, the FA has aperture priority, and I really think that that would make me use it a lot more. It also looks more like an older style like SLR. It's not like black and plastic, which is fine. I'm not being like a snob, but it is nice to have that kind of like retro look in a camera, but still have aperture priority. So I'm kind of like, oh my God, the Nikon FA is like my perfect camera. And I am a total Nikon fangirl. I just did a live stream on my channel members where I was like going through my Nikon camera collection. So excited to look out for a Nikon FA in 2023 and add that to the collection. Currently, this FM2 is kitted out with some Glimmer glass, which I will link below. I'll link a video on that too, because it looks really cool, and I don't think we are talking about Glimmer glass enough. It also has a cool grip from Camera Dactyl. Thank you so much, Ethan, for sending me that. Yeah, makes it like so much easier to carry and to use, and it's not adding like much bulk or weight to the camera, which is awesome. So I will link them below as well if you want to go and check Camera Dactyl out. So I'm really interested to know what you guys are going to be shooting in 2023 or what you're lusting after. So definitely comment below and let me know. I love connecting with you guys and reading all of your responses.